Welcome all. Hi, my name is Alex, and I am your worship associate today. We are blessed to be here together. We acknowledge that the land upon which we meet rests on the traditional territories of the Haudenosaunee people, the original nations of this land who continue to call for justice and self-determination. Today we have quite a few announcements. First, we're going to start with a couple people coming up. First, we have Julie from the search committee.
Good morning. Who's wiping some tears from your eyes? Oh, yeah. Wasn't that awesome? Thank you so much, choir. My name is Julie Taylor. I am a member of the Ministerial Search Committee. The Ministerial Search Committee is co-led by Maria Testa and Renee Geraci. And if you want to stand up and wiggle as I say your name, there's a wiggler, there's a wiggler. We also have Charlene Montgomery, Andrea Burke-Harris, Rachel Clark, and Simon Richard. And then there's me. I've got 3 things to tell you today, so it is finite what I will be communicating to you so you can check it off your list. The very first thing that we want to update you about and to make you aware that is coming your way is an email. You will be getting an email that has the survey in it. A survey, oh my goodness, did you realize that we have 2 professional researchers on our search committee, chosen by you guys? Oh, you guys are so smart. And so you will be getting an email request for a survey sometime between September 15th and September 30th. We will be sending it out to the entire distribution that we do. It is important that you take the time and, pour yourself a cup of Earl Grey or a glass of Merlot, or both, I don't judge. And take the time to complete the survey and give your voice, let your voice be heard. The due date on this is going to be September 30th, so you've got some time to think and contemplate the questions and make sure that you give the good quality information to us, because this is what's going to inform our search for our next settled minister. And if the survey isn't cool for you in electronic form, we will have paper copies, and there will be a system that we will be able to get your voice, even if you have technology things going on in your life. I totally understand. So that's the survey. The survey is going to inform number 2, which is cottage meetings. So we will be holding cottage meetings. Doesn't that sound so cool, cottage meetings? I don't think there's any cottages involved. They're really, most of them are going to be held here on Sundays at the church. And these are small groups for you to be able to give your voice to the search team for that. Cool, huh? And the third thing is a training that will be done. It'll be done via Zoom, and it'll be at the end of October or into November. And it's called B4. Now, Andrea's going to keep me. It is about breaking barriers, building bridges. That's the B4, breaking barriers, building bridges, and it's to help prepare us as a congregation to receive our next called minister that hopefully we will be calling at the end of April of next year. So that's all I had to say. 1, watch for a survey, fill it out. 2, attend a cottage meeting, and 3, please come to our Zoom training, probably going to happen in November. All right. Happy, what is it today? Ingathering. Oh my gosh, this is like the reign of Unitarian Universalist. Happy Ingathering, everybody.
Awesome, thank you, Julie. Next we have Bridget with the Capital Campaign.
Go Bells, go Bells, okay. So I'm just here to quote Kate Belschwade, our vice president of the board to say, the UUs need to party more. And we're having a big party to launch officially our capital campaign. It's exciting. It's on the 21st of September, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to have guests, special guests, music. We're going to have food, free drinks, and lots of surprises. It's going to be wonderful. I just wanted to let everyone know that you're invited. This is a thank you and a celebration. See you there. Go Bills.
For the rest of our announcements here, we have quite a few, so stick with me here. The grief group meets today at noon in the Gardner room next to the kitchen. All are welcome. See Bonnie Collins for more info. If Bonnie is here, there she is. Thank you. Join us after church for a volunteer fair and find out how you can deepen your relationship with this church community by getting involved. You might have seen all the tables outside. There's a lot going on. Please explore a bit. Also, Nate and the food ministry has planned a wonderful lunch to welcome us back today. The food ministry is completely funded by your donations. Please contribute to this vital ministry by dropping money in the donation box. Also, next Sunday, following the service, Reverend Cathy invites newcomers and visitors to join her for a Q&A with the minister, the first of our new Inquirers series. That's all the announcements. Oh, one more. Sarah is back, our gatekeeper. Yes, we're all very happy about that, for sure. She had a bit of a time in the hospital. So now let's take some time to greet our neighbors. Take a moment to say hello to someone you may or may not know, if you feel comfortable doing so. Good job. So hard. Picture from this movie.
Mm-hmm. What a joyful noise. I hated to break you up, but I'm hungry. I'm looking forward to lunch. We have a great year ahead. As you know already from hearing the announcements, we've got such a busy year and it's very exciting. Last year we had a good year too, and one of the things that we did was we had your input and we were able to write a new covenant. So the Respectful Relations team, also known as the Right Relations team, have made bookmarks with our new covenant on them. Isn't that lovely? And on the back is your vision and mission. So if you would like to pick one up, you go by their table. They're right next to the Capital Campaign. So pick one up this afternoon. If we run out, we'll make more. It's really nice. So welcome back. It's good to be together again. I also think we should acknowledge Ed Harris is here today. He is back, so let's welcome Ed. It's good to have you back. I chose a poem by Wendell Berry, one of my very favorite poets, to do our opening words. It's called Water, since we're having a water communion. I was born in a drought year. That summer, my mother waited in the house, enclosed in the sun and the dry, ceaseless wind, waiting for the men to come back in the evenings, bringing water from a distant spring. Veins of leaves ran dry, roots shrank, and all my life I've dreaded the return of that year, sure that it is still somewhere like a dead enemy's soul. Fear of dust in my mouth is always with me, and I am the faithful husband of the rain. I love the water. I love the water of wells and springs and the taste of roofs in the water of cisterns. I am a dry man whose thirst is praise of clouds and whose mind is something of a cup. My sweetness is to wake in the night after days of dry heat, hearing the rain. So this morning, as we return from summer, like many UUs around the country and even the world, we celebrate with a water communion. The creators of the water communion wrote, "Water is more than simply a metaphor. It is elemental and primary, calling forth feelings of awe and reverence, acknowledging that the ocean is considered by many to be the place from which all life on our planet comes. It is the womb of life, and that amniotic waters surround us, each of us, prenatally. We now realize that this worship service was for us a new creation, and this is why we chose water as our empowerment. Come, let us worship together."
Now please rise as you're willing and able to join us in our chalice lighting. It's different than our usual, so make sure you're looking at your order of service. These words are by Katie Savani Gelfand. We light this chalice as a symbol of reunion. We reunite in this sanctuary to share the flow of our hearts with one another. We gather together in ritual to celebrate our fountains of joy, to hold each other through storms of grief, to guide one another through rapids of transformation, to rest together on ponds of stillness. Together, we honor the spirit of water, its many forms, and its life-giving essence. Now, if you'll stay standing to join us in hymn number 1007 in the blue hymnal, "There's a River Flowing in My Soul."
a story for all ages, and since I am the boss, I decided to change the story. So this one is called Wangari's Trees of Peace, and I'll explain later why I did that. And the children and the young at heart are invited to come forward for the story. Does anybody know the story of Wangari? No? Have you heard this? Okay. Right, Wangari's Trees of Peace. This is a true story from Africa. Wangari Maathai, she wrote, "The earth was naked. For me, the mission was to try to cover it with green. People are fighting over water, over food. We plant the seeds of peace." Wangari lives under an umbrella of green trees in the shadow of Mount Kenya in Africa. She watches the birds in the forest where she and her mother go to gather firewood for cooking. And she helps harvest the sweet potatoes, sugarcane, and maize from the rich soil. Wangari shines in school, and when she grows tall like the trees in the forest, she wins a scholarship to study in America. 6 years later, her studies are over. Wangari returns to her home in Kenya, and she sees a change. What has happened? Where are the trees? Wangari sees women bent from hauling firewood miles and miles from home. She sees barren land where no crops grow. Where are the birds? Thousands of trees have been cut down to make room for buildings, but no one planted new trees to take their place. Will all of Kenya become a desert, she wonders, as her tears fall. Wangari thinks about the barren land. I can begin to replace some of the lost trees here in my own backyard, one at a time, and she starts by planting 9 seedlings. Watching the seedlings take root gives Wangari an idea to plant more and to start a farm for baby trees, a nursery. In an open space, she plants row after row of the tiny trees. Next, Wangari convinces the village women that planting trees is a good thing, and she gives each one of them a seedling. Our lives will be better when we have trees again, you'll see. We are planting the seeds of hope. The women spread out all over the village, planting tiny trees in long rows. The government men laugh. Women can't do this. It takes trained foresters to plant trees, but the women ignore the laughter and they keep planting. Wangari pays them a small amount for each seedling still living after 3 months, their first earnings ever. Word travels like wind rustling through leaves about the green returning to Wangari's village. Soon, other women in other villages and towns and cities in Kenya are planting long rows of seedlings too. But the cutting continues. Wangari stands tall as an oak to protect the old trees still remaining. But we need a park more than we need a park, she says, more than we need an office tower. The government men disagree, and Wangari blocks their way, so they hit her with clubs. They call her a troublemaker and put her in jail. Still, she stands tall. Right is right, even if you are alone. But Wangari is not alone. Talk of the trees spreads all over Africa, like ripples in Lake Victoria. More women hear the talk and plant even more seedlings in longer and longer rows. And the seedlings take root and grow tall until there are over 30 million trees where there once was none. The umbrella of green in Kenya returns. Women walk tall, their backs straight, for now they can gather firewood closer to home. The land is no longer barren. Sweet potatoes, sugarcane, and maize grow again in the rich red earth. The whole world hears of Wangari's trees and of her army of women who planted them. And if you climbed to the very top of Mount Kenya today, you would see the millions of trees growing below you. And the green Wangari brought back to Africa. And that's the end. And the good news is that Wangari won a Nobel Peace Prize for her work. And the reason I chose this because it started with one woman planting one tree. So I want you to think about that, and maybe you can talk your parents into planting a tree in your backyard. And when somebody passes away, one of the most lovely things you can do instead of setting flowers is to plant trees in an at-risk forest. Thank you for listening. So please stay, we're having water communion and you're invited to stay.
Every week, our congregation takes a good portion of our Sunday morning offering and gives it away to a social justice cause outside of our church walls. This month, we are supporting the good work of Voice Buffalo. Voice Buffalo is dedicated to racial justice, dismantling incarceration cycles, and empowering youth. Thank you. And empowering youth through education and civic engagement. They support reintegrating formerly incarcerated individuals to build a just and equitable society. To support the church and our Share the Plate ministry, you can drop a check or cash into the offering plate. You can click the donate button on our website or arrange an automatic deposit through your bank. If your offering is in the form of a check, please write Share the Plate on the memo line. Let us now give from our hearts so we can support the transformation of our world.
I want to see
I used to think that I needed to run out front to listen to the music, but I realized standing back there, I get to be a part of it and feel it. Wow, you guys, it's so wonderful to have you back. In the center of our service and in the center of our lives, let us pause to honor the silences of the world. Let us open our hearts to the place of quiet, to the silent prayer for the healing of pain and the soft, gentle coming of love. This morning, we hold in our hearts all those who are suffering in grief, who are hungry, who are coping with unbearable situations. Instead of a prayer, I have a meditation from Clarissa Pinkola Estes. It's called The Rainmaker, You Could Be the Water, from Untie Strong Women. By the scent of water alone, the withered vine comes back to life, and thus, wherever the land is hard and dry, you could be the water. Or you could be the iron blade disking the earth open. Or you could be the acequia, the mother ditch, carrying the water from river to the fields to grow the flowers for the farmers. You could be the honest engineer, mapping the dams that must come down and those dams which could remain to serve the venerable all, instead of only the very few. You could be the battered vessel for carrying the water by hand, or you could be the one who stores the water. You could be the one who protects the water, or the one who blesses it, or the one who pours it. Or you could be the tired ground that receives it. You could be the scorched seed that drinks it. And you could be the vine, green growing over land, in all your wild audacity. May it be so. And now let us fill this sanctuary with the names of those loved ones that reside in our hearts that are suffering in sorrow or celebrating in joy this morning. May they feel our loving embrace. The power of love surrounds us and is within us. May it be so. And may the church say amen.
For our reading, we have a poem by Langston Hughes, "The Negro Speaks of Rivers." I'm gonna get this right at some point. Okay. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile, and it raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing in the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers.
This month, UU congregations celebrate the opening of the church year at a service called variously ingathering, water service, or water communion. People generally bring a small container of water collected from a special place during the summer's travels or closer to home. Pouring it into a common vessel, they reflect on their inner or outer journeys. Most of us don't realize that this service originated with angry women. Heck yes. Carolyn McDade and Lucille Shuck Longview were asked to create a ritual for the Women and Religion Conference at East Lansing, Michigan in 1980. Their service was intended to speak to the worship needs of women, which some felt had not been widely included in the movement up to that point. As McDade, social activist and songwriter, recalls, it was a strong service about community taking power, about creating a political and liberating theology. McDade and Longview shared a vision of justice, both for women and for the environment that made working together easy. At Lucille's house, they spent many rewarding hours brainstorming and writing the service. Everything they produced held up nature and community. McDade believes that this ritual broke the long silence of laywomen. The creation of a sacred space for and by women happened with a circle and a simple bowl. This celebration of connectedness, as McDade calls it, empowered women instead of calling them to serve others. The water symbolized the birth waters, the cycles of moon, tides, and women, and all the waters of this small blue planet. Each woman attending the conference was invited to bring a container of water with her. McDade recalls that it was very moving, the women bringing water from places of spiritual importance. This ceremony was also designed to demonstrate solidarity with women globally, as women the world over traditionally draw and carry water. 44 years after its creation, Longview and McDade's ritual speaks to a deepening awareness of our solidarity with siblings globally who lack the most basic and precious resources. It also speaks eloquently of our interdependence.
These words are by Elizabeth Stevens. Just as rivers change the shape of the land, we humans get to use our values and our choices to shape our lives and the shape of our shared lives. Each of us learns and grows, hopefully becoming wiser and more skillful at living and at loving as these years flow by. And slowly, oh slowly, the moral consensus shifts. Society evolves and we collectively become wiser and more skillful at living and loving. It doesn't always feel that way, but it does feel like things are changing. The process of social evolution is slow, so think of it by the way rivers carve into a rock. She writes, one of the places I visited on sabbatical was the Grand Canyon. a magical place. It took 12 million years for the Colorado River to carve the Grand Canyon. And to get a sense of how long that is, if you were to count to 12 million with 1 second per number instead of a year, it would take us 188 days if we didn't stop to eat, sleep, or go to the bathroom. The ability to make choices, to learn and grow is our human superpower. The values we express and embody change the course of history in small ways. And each year, the water carves this Grand Canyon just a millimeter deeper. But over time, those little changes add up. So let's think of our values as touchstones. We could think about how a stone changes the course of a river and how it sends ripples out when you toss it in, how it tumbles and rolls until it finds its precise spot. James Luther Adams, Unitarian theologian, identified 5 smooth stones of liberal religion. The symbolism came from the stones that David used in his slingshot when he battled Goliath in the story from the Bible. The gentler image of stones impeding a stream is better. Adam's touchstones were: revelation is continuous. We keep learning as we go. And relationships ought to rest on mutual and free consent. No one should be abused or coerced. And we need to work together to create a just and loving community. And we have a commitment to express our faith in society. We choose to live in hope. So this morning I ask you, what might your touchstone be? What values have helped you grow and learn and become wiser and more loving? What are the key forces that fuel your process of becoming? Is it integrity, compassion, kindness, justice, independence, hope, faith, love, or wild audacity, like Wangari? Imagine your soul as a river, and we have our river here in front. So I invite you to think about what values you would like to bring to your life and to our combined life, our community. So as you pour your water into the bowl, name some aspect of yourself that you will be bringing into the new year. You might pour water in the bowl for your courage, or your intelligence, or your sense of humor, or your skill as a writer, or making friends. So I invite you to come up and make 2 single file lines up the center aisle, and then on either side, we have vials of water if you didn't bring water. We will help you pour your water into the bowls, and then leave by the side aisles. Does that sound good? So we don't run into each other? Okay. Yeah. I invite you to come. I don't know if we have any music for this, but maybe silence works. I forgot to say that I primed the water with water from our kitchen, the food ministry. And also yesterday, I baptized, dedicated Tracy and Christopher Brechtel's new baby boy, who's 6 months old, Finn. And so I poured the water from the baptism into to make it holy. The water is sacred. It is made sacred by the many hands that have poured it with intention and love. The many stories, hopes, and dreams that each drop contain, and the many lives surrounding it in this unique moment, connected by commitment, community, and faith. And you respond, the water is sacred.
The water is sacred. May it continue to flow through this community with shining reflections of the unique gifts that flow through each of its members. The water is sacred.
May it continue to nurture this community with sustaining hope that we journey together through ripples of growth and change. This water is sacred.
May it continue to bless this community with loving reminders of our collective responsibility to one another and the world. This water is sacred.
May its ripples be a reminder that the changes and growths within this community bring movement and transformation to the world beyond our doors. This water
is sacred. May its purity offer grace to our community and the willingness to forgive ourselves and one another when we make mistakes.
This water is sacred. In moments that we are confused or uncertain, may this water bring us clarity of purpose and commitment. This water is sacred.
In moments when the reservoirs of hearts and spirits are drained by sorrow or pain, may it nourish them with the knowledge that we are surrounded by a deep and abundant love. This water is sacred.
May it be so. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our next hymn, Blue Boat Home, number 1064.
Still
chalice together. As we extinguish the flame of
This chalice, may we carry its light with us into the world in the power of peace, faith, justice, and love.
I don't know if you noticed, we have a blue boat, a green boat, and a yellow boat. One of our teens brought this up and made these for us. Isn't that sweet? Very sweet. Okay, sorry. Flip the page. I don't know about you, but this was a beautiful service. I was so happy to be here. Please stay for the volunteer fair and the in-gathering picnic. We'll meet out in the parish hall. As streams join to become rivers, and rivers meet in the great ocean, all that we are meets with all that we are becoming. As the late poet-philosopher John O'Donohue said, I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. May we be carried by the surprise of our unfolding in this new year together, and may we be blessed, and may we be a blessing. Go in peace to the parish hall, and blessed be.
Traveling these wide roads for so long. My heart's been far from you, 10,000 miles gone. Oh, I wanna come near and give every part of me. But there's blood on my hands, and my lips aren't clean. In my darkness I remember Mama's words reoccur to me. Surrender the good Lord, and He'll wipe your slate clean. Take me to your river. I wanna go. Oh, go. Take me to your river. I wanna go. Dip me in your smooth waters, I go in. As a man with many crimes, come up for air. As my sins flow down the Jordan, oh, I wanna come near and give you every part of me. But there's blood on my hands, and my lips aren't clean. Take me to your river. I wanna go. Oh, go. Take me to your river. I wanna go. I wanna know, wanna know.